This is a real exciting research paper in reference to the supplement α-Ketoglutarate. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be looking at α-Ketoglutarate in the context of the tricarboxylic or TCA acid cycle, sometimes referred to as the citric acid cycle and or Krebs cycle. But also, too, we are primarily going to be looking at type 1 muscle fibers as far as helping with endurance, increasing skeletal muscle size through hypertrophy, as well as mitigating the potential effects of muscle aging through oxyglutarate receptor 1. Sounds complex, but hopefully we can elucidate this information with a little bit more detail as we go into the research itself. First, we're going to start off with the public study and then go into the, the manuscript per se that has been submitted. To proceed, α-Ketoglutarate is a nutritional supplement to enhance health and exercise performance. Now we go into the full study, which is the manuscript you'll see basically watermarked behind there. Skeletal muscle comprising around 40% of body mass is heterogeneous tissue consisting of various fibers characterized by different contractile and metabolic properties. Muscle mass and metabolism are essential for human health. Simultaneously, they also affect the quality and production of meat of livestock and poultry, where you can see AKG. If it does it for animals, it does it for people, but again, a lot of money in livestock, albeit I'm a vegetarian myself. To proceed, the growth and metabolism of skeletal muscles are influenced by numerous factors, including nerve regulation, hormone secretion, and blood flow. The increase in blood flow promotes angiogenesis, a process that affects muscle fiber metabolism and type conversion. Besides, neuroendocrine factors, other local metabolites such as nitric oxide, purine, and amino acids also affect skeletal muscle blood supply and angiogenesis. AKG is an essential metabolite of the tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA, and glutamate. The physiological blood levels of AKG increases significantly after resistance exercise. So to reiterate, the physiological blood levels of AKG increase significantly after resistance exercise, but the increased extent gradually decreases during aging. We'll get into the mitigating impact of AKG in that in a little bit. There are a number of studies that demonstrate the significance of AKG as a metabolic signaling molecule with important biological activity. For muscle development, it has been established that AKG promotes the synthesis of muscle protein. I know that's going to get a lot of ears up in the air. And the development of muscle metabolism in mice, chicken, and pigs. Hopefully the same for humans. However, the principal mechanism of AKG in regulating skeletal muscle development metabolism has not been fully understood. Now, I want to highlight this one line here because it's important, because you're going to see oxyglutarate receptor 1 often, and you're going to try to figure out, well, why does one connect to the other? You'll understand in a second here. As the cell membrane is impermeable to AKG, the effects of extracellular AKG are mostly mediated by its receptor, oxyglutarate receptor. And again, they kind of can do independent things on their own, but still just the same, they're important together. To proceed, now I'm going to take a little highlights from the full study here that you may find of interest. To proceed. AKG promotes, the transformation of slow fiber and vascular density in skeletal muscle. AKG significantly increased the density of arterial and capillary and skeletal muscle, and as well as the mRNA levels of contractile markers and angiogenesis markers. Based on these results, it is suggested that AKG promotes skeletal muscle hypertrophy, which is a good thing. Oxidative fiber transformation elevates vascular density. Another highlight. AKG increases vascular perfusion in skeletal muscle. Now, I pulled this one out because it's one of the few parts of the study where it was done by injection. So take it with a grain of salt in reference to that. But however, as proof of concept, they showed that AKG does help with that vascular perfusion. Now, continue through the full study. Interestingly, AKG has been shown to extend the lifespan of mice, and studies have found that capillary density in skeletal muscles is lost with aging, along with a decrease in muscle mass and strength. However, we found a decrease in, once again, oxyglutarate receptor 1 expression in older mice. These results suggested that hypothesis that AKG-OXGR1 signaling pathway may play a pivotal role in reducing muscle aging hypothesis. by regulating the formation of slow muscle fibers and the vascular density in skeletal muscle. Now, part of the methodology, a few different dosaging and basically consumption, as I showed before, through injections, so on and so forth, of AKG. But primarily, as you go through the full study, you're going to find out a lot of it's been 2% water solution, or just added for water. So not really complex in its administration, which shows promise for basically general consumption if this study pans out to be equal in humans as it is in animals, poultry, pigs, and mice. Now, we're going to go back to the public release study because it's a great way to conclude it, because this part is quite clear. Previous studies have shown that AKG plays biological functions such as regulating energy metabolism, obviously the TCA cycle, promoting osteogenesis, improving immunity, and prolonging lifespan of the animal organism. Oxyglutarate receptor 1 is an endogenous receptor of AKG mainly expressed in the tissues of the nervous system, adrenal gland, and reproductive system. But the expression of the oxyglutarate receptor in skeletal muscle is relatively low. In a previous study, through the researchers, it is demonstrated the addition of AKG to drinking water can reduce fat deposition as well as increase skeletal muscle mass, possibly working with that oxyglutarate receptor. Again, proof of concept pilot study. To conclude, the study provides novel insights into the nutritional regulation of AKG as a nutrient to improve the health and exercise capacity of specific populations, sedentary people or athletes, which I assume that's a pretty broad spectrum to probably include just about everyone. And that's publisher bias, but still just the same. And the yield as well as the quality of livestock meat, where really the money is at. But again, there's just basically it's α-Ketoglutarate, proof of concept in regard to this, we'll just say pilot study. It has some good potential. Again, not going over the dosages in regard to people or human consumption because the biologies obviously are very different. But however though, the promise as far as increasing skeletal muscle mass, helping with that oxyglutarate receptor 1 in regard to mitigating the effects of muscle aging, increasing endurance, and potentially metabolism, and other energy factors because it's part of that TCA cycle, that tricarboxylic acid thing, Krebs cycle, citric cycle. When I took nutrition in the early 80s, it was the Krebs cycle. But still just the same, it's really kind of cool and wonderful research, even though it looks like it's being geared more towards livestock than is people, still just the same. People could benefit from this tremendously if that research translates equally to us. Again, Ralph Churchiano signing off. Gratitude to the researchers that did a wonderful job bringing this to our attention. And as always, I am humbled you watch and look forward to see you all next time. Catch you then. Bye.